everybody, I'm KC, and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk About. Today, let's talk about the latest Ducktales episode, Last Christmas. Told you I'd go out of order if there was an episode I really wanted to talk about, and given that it is the season for all of our favorite cartoon holiday specials, this year it's time for the Ducktales reboot to join the ranks. But I can't help but feel like there was another holiday special that came out this year that I should probably be talking about next time. And frankly, this one is shorter and I've been kind of busy this month, but I really wanted to get something up for Christmas, so here you go. Anyway, in this episode, Scrooge is being a grump during the holiday festivities, and later that night is visited by three spirits. And if you get the feeling you've heard this story before, trust me, you haven't. Turns out Scrooge is buddies with the ghosts of Christmas, because of course he is, and he and Dewey get whisked away on time-traveling shenanigans unlike any other anyone in this cast has ever experienced before, I'm sure.
Oh, time travelers.
Excuse me, that is not time travel. It's like, I've got a sports car, you've got a space hopper.
Yeah, we were all waiting for that joke. I'm not gonna lie, I was really excited about this episode. This was one of the episodes teased during Comic-Con this year, and as soon as I saw this, my face lit up. Throughout these DuckTales videos, I keep mentioning how I didn't really grow up with a lot of the stuff in the Disney Duck legacy, outside of some shorts and cameos in other Disney projects. So I don't really have a nostalgic connection to these characters that a lot of other people do. There is, however, one exception to that. Back during the holidays last year, I did a video on my favorite Christmas Carol adaptations and shared that my first exposure to that classic story was Mickey's Christmas Carol. So not only does that special mean a lot to me for that reason, but until this reboot, it was my biggest exposure to Scrooge McDuck. Even though in that special he's playing the Ebenezer Scrooge, but regardless. That wonderful retelling gave me most of my love for Scrooge long before I got invested in his adventures in DuckTales.
Bah, humbug.
He said it!
So I didn't care what they were planning to do. The fact that we get to see Scrooge with the Ghost of Christmas again was enough to make me more excited for this episode than any other in season 2 so far. Yes, even the Three Caballeros episode. Although it's still a really good one. And I wasn't disappointed because while this episode is very much its own story, they do throw in some visual references to Mickey's Christmas Carol. Like this gorgeous artwork in the credits emulating the storybook artwork from the credits of the original special, and the designs for the new Ghost of Christmas being very blatantly inspired by the ghosts from Mickey's Christmas Carol, especially with the Ghost of Christmas Past. And trust me, we'll get back to him. But while this episode has the typical emotional notes that most Christmas specials do, it of course has a great DuckTales twist on it. The fact that Scrooge's idea of relaxing during the holidays is traveling through time to history's greatest parties with three ethereal beings is evidence enough of that. And so is Scrooge's very weird, very strong vendetta against Santa. Seriously, what the heck did Santa do to Scrooge to warrant this hatred? Did he wrong him the same way he wronged Professor Membrane?
Yay!
Anyway, a lot of this episode's charm does come from how funny and eccentric it gets. This year, the spirits take Scrooge to one of his own past Christmas parties, celebrating the founding of McDuck Enterprises.
Young me, old me.
Okay, I know there's a lot of great moments in this episode, but can we please take a minute to appreciate this and how it's just so Scrooge McDuck? Hello, time-displaced version of myself. Enjoy the eggnog and try not to cause any paradoxes in there. And of course, there are tons of cameos that come with traveling to the past, including a different generation of the Beagle Boys, Duckworth back when he was, alive, and an appearance from a younger Beakley. And not only does it seem like the whole being a secret agent thing wasn't really a secret as time went on, given that the crowd is cheering for her and her codename, but this episode will probably launch many disturbing fan theories about the Ghost of Christmas future possibly being Webby's grandfather. That's certainly fan fiction I needed in my life. Thanks for that show. The entire first half of the episode is basically Scrooge realizing how unsatisfied he is with these journeys into the past, and decides it would be more fulfilling to spend Christmas with his family. But since we're not even at the halfway point yet, we can't have him learning his lesson quite yet, so the episode throws its first unexpected curveball.
Take me back, spirit!
No.
What's that now?
I love this twist. Maybe it's because Scrooge having his family around is still fairly new, or because of the last time Scrooge appeared in A Christmas Story, but going into this episode, I was expecting to get the same song and dance about spending Christmas with family. And while the episode is ultimately about that, having the ghost of Christmas past refuse to send him away because he's sick of helping people and then getting left behind is a really fun subversion from that kind of makes perfect sense when you think about it. But Scrooge keeps his reputation of being smarter than the smarties with a hilarious and clever way of getting out of the situation. It might have been a jerk move, but in all fairness to Scrooge, the Ghost of Christmas Past is played by Jack McBrayer, who can be exhausting to spend Christmas with.
And then the person with the highest number gives the smallest gift to the tallest person. If they want to switch, they cannot. Unless they do, then everyone puts their head down except the murderer. Oh wait, that's not right.
But back to the lesson of spending Christmas with family, Dewey does that from an interesting angle. Dewey is really missing his mom during the holiday, so he hitches a ride on Scrooge's party umbrella to spend Christmas with Della in the past. But instead of Della, he finds
some weird emo kid?
Boy, we are just running with the subverting expectations thing through this whole ride, aren't we? I know it makes sense given the changing timeline, and someone did point this design from the comics out to me a while before this was revealed, but seeing Donald as a wannabe rocker preteen is just too funny to me. Also, I'm sure you all know this, but it still bears mentioning because it's really cool, young Donald is played by Russi Taylor, who played Huey, Dewey, and Louie in the original Ducktales.
I'll deck your horns, you big palooka!
It's a pretty clever casting choice and not nearly as distracting as I thought it would be, and honestly, she makes Donald sound really cute. She's also the current voice actor for Minnie Mouse, just FYI. What I found the most charming about this section is Dewey's interactions on this unexpected adventure with this younger version of his uncle as they try to find Della and wind up running into a Wendigo. Awesome. Donald can definitely take care of himself in a dangerous situation, even back then, but thinks he's too cool and mature for silly adventures, and I'm sure some of the adult viewers were watching this with a groan of familiarity. It's a different approach, and kind of weird if this was one of your first episodes of DuckTales, but this kind of unique contemporary twist is one of those things this reboot has mastered, and there's more of that in this than in most episodes. However, someone who did probably meet expectations, even as a little kid, was Della. The more we've learned about Della, the more fans' perception of her has changed, but I'll talk more about that when I eventually talk about Last Crash of the Sun Chaser. For now, this was still an exciting moment to finally see Della in action in person. I also really like seeing her and Donald squabble like two young siblings would. They don't know what's coming in the future, they're just kids who are growing up and slowly becoming the Ducks we know now. And I think it really works with the episode's theme of celebrating special occasions like Christmas with the ones you care about. With Dewey, he wanted to spend time with someone in his past who he knows so little about while ignoring his close family in the process. With Scrooge, he was once again stuck in his ways. Regardless of how much closer he's become to his family, he still wants to spend the holiday on wild time-traveling parties. And this is all good, but what makes it great is the reveal of the Wendigo's identity.
Past?
I'm just gonna say it, this is a twist worthy of a Gravity Falls episode. It's a great subversion of expectations and emphasizes the emotional core of the story. In the wrong hands, this whole situation could have come off as hokey or portraying a group think message that I know some people complain about when it comes to holiday specials like this. And at first I thought the episode was heading in that direction of persecuting Dewey and Scrooge for acknowledging Christmas their own way instead of how everyone else wants them to. But not only do the rest of the family respect their wishes and let them be in the beginning, and aren't the ones to convince them to spend Christmas with them, but the way the story is told from both perspectives, as well as including the Ghost of Christmas Past as the sort of antagonist, not only omits this potential problem, but makes the overall message even stronger. Think about it. What do Dewey, Scrooge, Past, and heck, let's throw in little Donald here too, all have in common? They were only thinking of themselves, how they wanted to celebrate the holiday regardless of how it made anyone around them feel. Dewey, Scrooge, and Donald were ignoring their family in favor of doing things they thought would be more fulfilling, and it turns out they weren't. And Past straight up refused to send Scrooge back home because he was so determined to celebrate Christmas his way with his friend after being abandoned during so many Christmases, whether Scrooge wanted to or not. Obsessed to the point of becoming a Wendigo. When did go?
When did he go?
Those clever ducks. Having basically the same message be played out by several different characters is, in my opinion, what makes the story work. When Dewey sees Donald promising to never spend another Christmas apart from Della, way to twist the knife there, guys, he wants to go home and spend Christmas with the family he still has. And when Scrooge sees what Paz has gone through after he left him behind, he decides to break the cycle and celebrate Christmas with everyone he cares about, including his supernatural friends. Solidified by a wonderful and completely accurate rendition of 12 Days of Christmas by Launchpad. I couldn't ask for more. Overall, Last Christmas is a crazy, wild ride with a lot of heart in between the insanity. So yeah, pretty par for the course with Ducktales 2017. Honestly, after analyzing this, I really shouldn't be surprised at how this episode turned out. But there was a lot to be excited about here, and it delivers another amazing holiday special for Disney's library. There are too many funny little moments to count, great scenes of expanding on main characters and seeing others from new angles, and conveying what can make the holidays truly special in the past, present, and possibly the future. For now though, of course I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.